It's that time of the week where we talk politics. It is a subject that everybody on Guam gets really, really jazzed about. And I got my friends Dr. Ron McNinch and Sean Gumatautau here. Good to have you back, guys.
Thank you.
All right, one angle that we have yet to talk about going into the general election, which is coming up on November 8th, is election signage and election ads. So, like, Ron, you've actually done an extensive research in this, and Sean, you've actually helped put these together as far as the components of what make an effective political ad towards getting someone either elected or reelected. So, Ron, we'll start with you. What are the telltale elements that make a good, effective ad?
Sure. Well, a sign, a political sign in particular, the last name. The last name has to be very clearly stated on the sign. It has to be the significant feature of the sign because that's what people see on the ballot. They don't see all the other, pictures or anything else. They see the last name. And so making that connection with that last name is very important.
Mm-hmm. Now, Sean, you've done this again, as a member of the Felix Camacho administration, helping to craft, the various designs and put it together so that you would make an effective ad. How did you guys actually go about presenting the governor like that?
Well, I think what's important, we found that it's going to be a combination of things. It's going to be, one, they need to see the photo. I would say that in the past, some of our candidates, especially those who are probably more aesthetically pleasing than others looking, they seem to do much better. It sounds crazy, and I know you can probably disagree or agree, but those seem to work because they know who they are. And secondly, colors. They seem to be very important, and they seem to run the entire time in the themes of whether it's an ad, whether it's how they arrange their whole headquarters. Colors also remain very consistent to each candidate as they move up, across the entire process.
And that is very important, Ron, because marketing psychographics and various mnemonics that we can use and everything like that. What colors tend to resonate better with political viewers? Because we would say in the business world, blues tend to resonate better than reds, which can get you like really hyped up and probably too aggressive about a certain product. But when it comes to a political candidate, what colors seem to work?
Well, in 2006, Sean's camp had the red, white, and blue motif. It was very effective. It was very well done. It had the national kind of American theme also connected to it. It worked very well for them.
Appealing to patriotism.
Blue appeals to stability. It's just a good, solid color scheme that was used in that particular race. Other colors, though, they don't really resonate very well unless they're linked to an additional theme. And so you see some candidates, they'll have black and white signs, and that doesn't really do very much. It has to be particularly linked to an emotion or to a feeling. And the feeling, the red, white, and blue aspect has a lot of feeling to it. And so we talk about how people feel rather than how people think, and that's very important for elections.
And that's interesting because, Sean, Frank Ergen Jr., longtime, very tenured politician on Guam, he's had his signature maroon color. I believe when Montesilva Tyron runs, she had like shades of pink in there and everything. Senator Michael Sinicolas, when he's running, he's got almost JFK colors. He's got green and gold and everything. So as far as the color wheel and everything like that, some people are actually going outside of I guess what would be like the comfort zone.
Yes, and when they go outside of the comfort zone, when you talk to them or we see them actually, they're wearing everything thematically the same. They might be wearing something very close to their signs. I mean, it's hard to not see them because they're wearing the colors consistent with all of their collaterals, their signs. It makes it interesting when you come to different functions to see that.
Now, Ron, is it possible to actually overdo it? Because some people say, okay, I'm going to put my first name, my last name, my mother's maiden name, put everything like that, what party I am, what my slogan is, my platform, my picture, my political affiliation, everything, and slam it all on one sign and everything. Sure. Is there too much of a good thing?
Well, that's not a good thing. Overcluttering's
overkill.
Absolutely bad approach. The simple last name approach, along with as long as the person knows the person's last name. Some candidates have a bit of name confusion because other people are running that share their last name. But if people know the person's last name and they can connect it to a person and they feel connected to the candidate, that's another essential element of signs. Is people have to feel like they're connected directly or indirectly to the candidate.
And including the behavior. Vote. I mean, if you can have a great sign for senator, but what do you want me to do with that sign? And also, if you notice, after they pull up the names for the ballots, they start putting numbers up. And now the numbers become even more important, especially in the general election.
Okay, well, let's talk about the glass being half empty now, gents, because what have you guys seen over the years that you've covered and analyzed politics of maybe creative angles that people have tried to take, or like not traditional measures or strategies that people would try and everything, things that didn't work?
Things that didn't work.
Yeah.
I think one of the things we have to remember about not working or making a commitment, saying something, you'll find out later if you do a little fact checking, whether or not they in fact did something. That doesn't happen until the end of the first year, going into the next one. They actually didn't do these things.
But people
So they
do
be
remember
careful.
that.
Yes, but they have to remember when they make a promise, they better deliver.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen, and by the way, advertising is always good. It's good when candidates advertise, but I've seen a candidate advertise and he should have used a voiceover rather than his own speaking voice. He should have had people talk about him rather than him talk directly, because he didn't come across very well. Even though he spent a huge amount of money on advertising, it wasn't effective advertising. So you have to have somebody should have been there on his team to say, there's a better way we can do this than this particular way.
Interesting. The science behind political marketing and everything like that. Certainly, we've only scratched the surface, but thanks a lot, guys. All right. It is a wide field out there, so worth Googling and everything. And next time you drive on the road and you see your favorite candidate's political signs, pay attention, see what they're doing, and see how it makes you feel. All right, we're back after this.